Hello, friends. I have not streamed in a while. I have music playing. I have no idea where the music is playing.
Hello, friends.
Oh my God, hold on. Did that work? I don't have any tabs open with my stream up, and I have no idea where that noise was coming from.
Did that work? I don't have any tabs open.
Oh my God, it was Discord. Why was Discord playing? Oy vey. What a way to come back into streaming is by having Discord play your own stream. I didn't even know it did that. Well, welcome. I don't know if anyone's here, so maybe that was just a random blunder. That doesn't matter because there's no one here, but that was very stressful for a minute because I've never had Discord play like my thing before. So anyway, hi. Oh my gosh, it's been a hot minute. I don't think I've streamed since, oh man, June. And that was when I did the AuthorTube writing conference. So I wasn't even like sprinting. I have joined in as a guest on Inimitable Books once or twice, but that's even been rare. So I feel like I'm out of practice, but I'm excited to be back and to be able to write again. So I have to set up my timer stream again because I exited out thinking that maybe that's where the YouTuber sound was coming from. But while I'm doing that, if anyone's here or if you're going to join a replay, let me know what you're working on today/tonight. It is 7:00 Eastern Standard Time here, and I am certainly having a day. So I'm very excited. Now, granted, you guys can't see this on camera, but I got a new desk and I'm really excited for it. But because I got a new desk, my entire room was torn up. So I was so stressed out today trying to get everything like ready to go. So now we're here. I'm really excited. And I'm going to be working on my vampire novel. So I have been working on this throughout the year. I started working on it in 2021, maybe. What's my nano thing? Yeah, 2021. Then I didn't really get far. I took a break. I was trying to rethink and revamp and actually outline. And then I joined the Readsy program earlier this year, which seems like a lifetime ago already. And I wrote my first draft fully through that program. And now I'm editing it because there's quite a few things that I need to really change in order to be effective in the story I want to tell. So I'm in chapter 14. I have no real goal for the stream. I just want to get work done and really like set out to get a couple things written tonight because I think in the month I think I might have written twice. Like I might have had 2 sessions for Vampire this entire month outside of writing a short story that I submitted. Like I did some writing, but it wasn't really for Vampire. So Laurel, hello. It's been so long. I hope you're well. Alex, welcome. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I know I forgot that like it is technically like NaNoWriMo season. So that's amazing. I'm so here for this. We're gonna finish it. You're gonna get to your 50K goal. So let's go. So what I figured I would do for tonight is I would start with like a 20-minute sprint just to ease in because it's been a while. I want to make sure nothing goes wrong. And then probably after the 20 minutes, I'm going to bump it up to 30 and just try to grind out some chapters. I don't necessarily have an end time in mind right now. I was thinking maybe 3 hours if I have the stamina. I do have an energy drink. I don't usually drink caffeine this late, but I figured I do want to get a lot of work done because I've basically been saving all of my energy for writing for tonight. So it's got to happen. So yeah. Okay. So let me get my thing back up because I closed it. Okay. So we're going to share the screen. I have the audio. So I'm using Writing Violet's timers, and although I think she changed her name on YouTube, so I don't even think it's Writing Violet anymore. I noticed it's Read with Rat Queen. I don't know the story behind that, but if you're interested, you could definitely follow there. So we're gonna do 20 minutes, and then yeah, that's it. So if you're joining now, feel free to let us know what you're working on. Let us know if you have any goals, and yeah, let's get going. All right, 20 minutes on the clock, guys. I will see you then. All right, friends, that is the end of our first sprint. So how did everyone do? Let's see. I have to get the next timer up too, so I'm going to talk while I'm doing that. But yeah, I feel pretty good about
Holiday
that.
shopping has never been easy.
Did it again where I opened something and it had an ad. But yeah, I ended up trying to reread, and then I got a little disorganized because I forgot that I had put the chapter I was working on. It was previously chapter 15. I have since added a chapter, so even though I'm on 14 in this draft, I was looking for chapter 15 because that's what I was technically working off of, and I could not find it anywhere. And then I forgot that I put it in my work bag to take for work and haven't looked at it in like 3 weeks, so I forgot it was in there. So now that I found it, I kind of got back into a good flow. And as much as I don't have like a ton of, like, I'm not keeping track, I did add some words, I took some out, and I'm excited because I'm really hyped, like adding up this backstory for this vampire, and I'm so excited. So this is where I don't know if you guys have been following me or like vlogs or anything like that, but I decided that I was setting my vampire novel in like rural, like Northeast Pennsylvania, kind of where like I live, and we have a really large mining community in history here. Not so much today, mostly history, but I decided that like I should include that because like why shouldn't I have like all this knowledge at my fingertips and all this like local places that I can get this information. So I've been starting to weave that in, and this is the chapter where I get to really talk about my mining town that this vampire has lived in. And that's why I'm trying to like look up stuff and like make sure that I have all this right. So I don't know how much I added, but we're getting his history. Like my main character is talking about how she, despite living here, she's never really learned much about it. And he's talking about how his family immigrated from Wales and like the shitty conditions. Like he's getting into like the bad conditions of how he lived. So yeah, that's me. Okay. So let's see. Alex, you got 324. I mean, that's still a pretty solid start though for 20 minutes. And you got a pizza in the oven, so I feel like that was pretty solid if I do say so myself. For anybody else that's coming in, hi, feel free to drop a hello or let me know what you're working on, or if you just want to stay silent and just get the sprints in, that's also okay. We had JK, Joanne join us as well. So happy you are here and working on your bakery novel that I love to hear about. Yeah, I think that was it as far as like who had checked in so far. Oh, we have somebody. Hello, MB. Welcome. So we're just doing some casual sprints today. If you want to hang out, whether you're writing or cleaning or doing whatever, happy to have you here. If you are doing something you want to share, feel free to. For anybody who's coming in, I did a 20-minute sprint to start. And now I'm going to be moving them up to 30 minutes and the next couple minutes. And it's probably going to be pretty productive heavy. That's not what I want to say. Productivity heavy. That's what I want to say. Because I really want to get a lot of work done tonight. And I want to not talk as much, especially because I'm by myself. It's less likely I'll talk as much when I'm by myself. So working on some brain dump, writing up some new projects, a mystery this coming sprint. Oh, I love that. So is the mystery like what you're like brain dumping? Is that how I'm reading that correctly? Is my comprehension actually accurate? Because I've been seeing a bunch of people like doing on like in the YouTube author tube space. A lot of people seem to be doing like mystery thrillers right now. And I'm obsessed with this. I love this new era. Oh, a cozy mystery. That's perfect. This is like, I think, the perfect time of year to write cozy stories in general because it's like dead of winter. We want that hope. We want something comfortable when it's like, I don't know, at least for me, I live in Northeast Pennsylvania. It's extremely cold up here. It's like 20 degrees right now. and it's miserable and dark. So for me, the cozy vibes are what I need. Next year. Oh my God. Okay, well, definitely keep me updated. And let me know how I could support you. If and when it does go up next year, I will absolutely buy it. That's so exciting. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, Kofi. Oh my gosh. I wonder if I didn't even think about that. I don't think I knew you had a Kofi, and I feel like I need to look you up now and follow you. It's been a while since I've used my own Kofi, to be honest. Are you so you could let us know in the chat, are you under your JK Lambo name on Kofi, or are you under something else? Okay, Pacific Northwest. Yeah, I feel like it has been, well, it's been like hit or miss with whether it's been rainy or snow, and it's been like sleeting because of that, because it's been like really cold and it doesn't really want to not rain. I don't know. It's so this weather's not my jam. And I still live here, you know. Oh, perfect. Yes, I may have to hit you up after the holidays, but I would be absolutely like I would love to be able to support you. J Lambo, one word. Okay, I'm gonna do that right now. Let's see. Because otherwise I'm gonna forget if I don't do it right now. I haven't used Kofi in so long. I don't even remember how to look people up. Your page or feed? Is it under feed? Or no, it's just Kofi.com. And then I think you do /JLambo. I think that's what it was. No, maybe. This is not a great time. Okay. I may have to have you I may have to have you DM me on Instagram so that I can find it, because me trying to do this on Kofi right now is not coming up. And I don't know why. I feel like it should be creators, but nothing's coming up for me. So I wonder if your like slash is different, but DM me. I'll stop jibber jabbering. So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead if we feel like we're ready, guys. And I'll wait to the 35-minute mark in like 2 seconds. And then we can start our 30-minute sprint. So then that way we can keep being creative. Okay, so let me get this back up here. And I'm going to do the same thing as last time. So this is Writing Violet. There is some noise at the end in case anybody gets a little scared. And yeah, okay. So I guess we'll take it from here. So away we go, and happy productivity, friends. Okay. Oh my goodness. So, how did everyone do that sprint? I tried to estimate about how much words I may have added, and some words were still there, but I did add a lot of backstory. So, from highlighting, I'm around like 500 for that sprint. 493 is what I highlighted. So that includes like adding in a lot of backstory, changing some words, taking some stuff out. So I felt pretty good actually. I think this chapter is going to have to be split up though, because it's going to be quite massive with how much backstory and things. And it's not even like I'm going like on and on. Like it's not droning on about the backstory, but I certainly have like a lot that I have to add in and I don't want to drag it down. So I think it's going to have to be 2 chapters, but I'm really liking this. I'm enjoying where this is going and yeah, just excited all around. So throughout the conversation or throughout the sprint, I should say, I was chatting with JK and JC. Sorry, my dog is looking into the Christmas presents, so I may have to yell at her for a second. But just to add on to, JC does some great poetry events that I always end up missing live. But JC, I definitely think you should consider submitting. It is very daunting. It's very scary. I've had several rejections for poetry as well as a couple acceptances, which is awesome. But those rejections do hurt initially because it's so personal. Ugh. Please hold. My dog is needy. Come on. Let's go. She's so spoiled, but she's also getting older. So jumping up is a little bit harder for her. So I have to sometimes pick her up. She can get up there, but she plays us. She definitely likes to be lifted now that we have started lifting her. But I mean, they're really cute. Look at them. Okay. But anyway, yeah, my long story short on poetry submissions is it could definitely hurt because poetry is so subjective. It's so personal. But I think like anything, the more you submit and the more you get into a flow, the more you can kind of like build yourself up and expect a rejection, but be like super excited if you get it like accepted. So I've had if anyone is interested, I have in the description, there's Beyond the Veil Press's Reclaim the Light. I have 2 poems published in that anthology. I have 2 more poems forthcoming in the new year, and they are going to be in a queer anthology, which I'm very excited about. And then I just submitted 2 more to, it's also Beyond the Veil Press, and we'll see if they get accepted or not. But yeah, it's been a ride. So, all right. So checking back in now that I've rambled again. Okay. Oh, everything hopped. That's why. Every time I try to like do StreamYard, it'll like hop back to the last conversation for some reason. Very strange. Okay, so MB read through some old scene notes, and one of them said he's dead. Discovery of the body, drama ensues, much hijinks, and that's it. I wish I elaborated. Oh my god, that is like the worst thing when you don't write out full sentences or like what you mean in the moment. Because in the moment we're like in there and it's fresh in our brain. I've done that. I was actually having to like really get into my like where was I going with this and what does this even say, because I scribbled it. I kind of got the gist of what I needed in my notes, but yeah, it was definitely, I hate when we don't have the foresight to be like, write this out, especially if it's like in my case, it's been several months since I've written these notes to myself. And then you're like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. So working on social media stuff, did a little bit of that, editing the video, great productivity. So glad you got some of the social media things out of the way. Kyle, welcome. I don't know if you said hello earlier, but welcome. Ditched my original story to write evil Spider-Man fan fiction. That sounds amazing. I'm all for it. Is this like evil Spider-Man in like the whole like Spider-Man trilogy that we had from the 2000s, or is this like your own lore that you're doing? Either way, Spider-Man's actually my favorite superhero, so I'm here for it. 73 words. My 6-year-old decided it was time to come and tell me all about his current session. Oh, how sweet is that though? Never good timing though. I have learned from other friends who have children, and the closest I get is my pets. And normally as soon as I sit down to write, we have a bell system, so someone rings the bell to go outside almost always. And then for my friends who have kids, it's always when they're trying to do stuff that it's like, I need you right now. Doesn't matter how significant it is now. But 73 words is still 73 words. Rejection of poetry hurts a little bit more because something like, yes. Yep. Yeah, it is. And it's so hard because a lot of them, like in my rejection experiences, because I've gotten a ton for poetry. And I started submitting, I think back in 2021 was the first time I submitted poetry, and didn't get anything accepted until this past year. But yeah, that definitely felt like that. It's like I'm giving you everything. But a lot of the rejections do try to make it seem like it's literally not personal. It's just the like anything with publishing, it's like it comes down to, I had one person literally tell me that they loved my poems, but their vision for that particular anthology, like my poems didn't fit that. And I was so bummed because they literally said if it wasn't because of their own personal vision, because it's like one person that runs the press, they said like they loved them. And that was like a hard one because it's like, oh God, like you love them, but it doesn't work for this particular time. But I've had stuff like that. I've had literally just like, it doesn't fit with us. Very like form rejections still. So whether you are doing short stories or novels or poetry, they're all very similar in the types of rejections you get. So it hurts, but I feel like now that I've gotten a few under my belt, it's just kind of like, all right, it happens. It's the name of the game. So let's go. 519. Awesome, Alex. I am so happy things are flowing better for you. That is the best. I get that because I haven't written much. And the fact that I'm going and doing things makes me feel so excited. So that means you are, what, about 1,000 left? Is that where you're at right now? And my own lore. Oh, I love that. The spider bites a psychopath of a character. Oh my God. That sounds so fun, actually. Do you post it anywhere, or is it just for like you and your personal enjoyment? Because either way, totally acceptable. But I know like, what is it? The AO3 is a big like fan fiction spot, I think, nowadays. I don't know. I haven't read a lot of fanfic in a while, but I love hearing about it. Personal. Yeah. I haven't done much like RPing. Normally I do original characters, but like a couple years ago I started getting back into it, and it was just Discord, like with a few friends, like doing like live RPing. And that was really fun. But we did one that was kind of like a fanficky one, and that's about as close as I've gotten to in recent years. Oh my God, 850, you're even under the 7. Oh, that's awesome. You're under the 1,000 mark. So, okay. I think then on that note, that means we should push forward with our next sprint because Alex is close to their goal. So, okay, let's see. I got to get my timer up. This is not the one I wanted. I really like the writing things from Violet, but the problem is that some of them are really funky ones. Like they're like 33 and not 30 minutes exact. So I just have to find a new one real quick. I think we're going to have to stick, with this heart timer. Okay. All right. So let's go back to sprinting now, and we'll do another 30 minutes, friends. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. I think I'm going to finish this chapter at some point in this sprint, which is me just splitting my chapter into 2. So, I mean, I don't know if we can call that a win, but I think it'll be a win because then I can say I'm on chapter 15 now. So, all right. Wait, I don't want that one. This is what I want. Okay, cool. All right. So we are going to get going. And don't forget that this one has some noise. So just be forewarned. Happy sprinting, friends. All right, friends, whoever is left with us, how did we do that time around? I know that MB had to leave to go do some life things. Oh my goodness. I will say it's been a minute since I've like sat down at my desk since I've written, and I could already feel like some of the tension of like sitting on the screen for 2 hours almost already. Like I'm so out of practice, but I am really enjoying what I did. So I'm not exactly sure how if I ended the chapter where I needed to right now, but I was like, okay, I really do need to end it somewhere because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So right now it's 8 pages in a Word doc, which I guess isn't terrible, but it is like pretty intense. I'm trying to see how many words it actually is. Yeah, it's about 2,300 words. So I feel like that is a relatively good place for a chapter. So I ended it. I've changed a little bit of wording. I was adding some more things to that, and I decided to end it on a statement that the vampire makes to just give it a little bit more ominous vibes. He says that he was never good at keeping his anger in check. And he's leading her deeper into the woods at that scene. So I was like, oh, that's nice. That little touch. Because this is a horror novel. If anybody is new and does not know that I'm writing a horror novel. Yeah. So like we're building up the tension right now that like initially it seems like maybe this is like a good thing for her, but more and more like these things are kind of getting creepy and suspicious. So yeah, so I guess we can officially say I'm on to chapter 15, and that means there's another new chapter added to this novel. Which is good. I started it like when I first did my first draft, I had 28 chapters, no prologue or epilogue, just like straight 28 chapters. And I think like my goal is to end somewhere in 30 chapters to begin with. So I'm at 30. I was thinking 32, but it might end up actually being like 35 chapters. And I think that's like a solid place to be in for this novel. Okay, so where was everyone else? Nikki. Oh gosh, she did it again. Why does it always there we go. Hi, welcome. Long time no see. Um, yeah, so no worries. I haven't streamed in a while, but I think I'm gonna go for at least another hour. I want to end maybe around like the 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time mark. So it'll be about like a 3-hour stream because I am in a good flow and I want to get as much words done as I possibly can. So hopefully you can stick around, and we're probably gonna do at least 2 more sprints, which I've been doing half-hour ones. So for anybody else joining or who's still around, that's kind of my goal right now. We'll see how it plays out, but I'm aiming for at least till 10 o'clock ish. Maybe longer, but probably not. Oh my god, I know. I always forget which ones like what sounds go off for them, but yeah, that one was definitely like a school one, and I forgot because it's like all hearts and things. I couldn't remember what it was. Alex, yes! Congratulations! Woo! Oop, I scared my dog. Good job. Very proud of you. That's incredible. Honestly, seriously, guys, no matter what it is, 50,000 words in a single month is always going to be impressive. It's a lot of wording. And thank you. Yes, I was hoping. Yes, everyone's saying congratulations. Alex definitely deserves it. So, yes. Yeah. And if you DM me if you want to, if it's easier. I'll be around for a bit, at least for tonight, and if not, tomorrow for sure. But yeah, I'm excited for everyone's progress, including my own. I don't know right now where my chapter 14. Oh man, my chapter 14 to begin with, what was originally chapter 13, it was a long chapter because we get like the history of my vampire in like the mining community, but we also get a little intro into his maker. And I'm excited, and I don't want to give too much information away because I do want to query this, but I am really excited to turn a little bit the trope of like the maker, and I think that's all I'm gonna say. I think like a lot of like media, especially because I consume a lot of vampire media, and I feel like vampire makers all tend to have this like type of air about them and like what you expect them to be like. And I'm kind of flipping it where like my main character vampire has more of a personality as you might expect a maker to have. And I'm excited to start leaving these little like crumbs and maybe red herrings. So, yeah, anyway, where's everyone else at? Okay. Project Sugar and Spice. Is it okay if, okay, so bakery rivals to lovers. Is it okay if one or both characters are unlikable in the beginning? I personally say yes, uh, depending on their arc. Because it's a romance, I do think you need them to be likable in some way, especially if it's a POV character. So one, is it dual POV? Or do you only have one POV in the book? Because that might make a difference. Because if you have both unlikable and it's dual POV, it might be really hard to engage your reader. If it's single POV, I don't think that matters as much. But I think because it is a rivals to lovers. Okay. So I just saw your update there. Also, yes, that is Sookie, who is named after the True Blood character, because I do love my vampires very much. And yes, she loves, like, that is technically my blanket, but I always have to have some kind of like comfy, cozy thing for her because she likes to snuggle up in the blankets. So I always leave one kind of like, you can, oh, wait, where am I going? Nope, that didn't help. This way. There we go. I figured it out. Okay. So those are like my blankets on that side. And I usually just pile them in the corner, but I always leave one out for her because she deserves it. Okay. Yeah. Since it's dual POV, I would definitely say try to maybe keep one a little unlikable versus the other, only just because like I think it would be a little hard to engage both of them. But I think the rivals to lovers bit can kind of make it like an easy sell for having somebody who might be like grumpier, like a grumpy sunshine trope, or also just someone might be unlikable because you're getting maybe one POV and whatever is going on in the other POV, and you might be able to justify that they're a little bit unlikable. I hope that wasn't too rambly and that made sense. But yeah, I do think I've read a romance where there was an unlikable character who grew into a more likable one, and you learned that through their interactions and their backstory. So I think it could work. And I kind of like sometimes when they're unlikable and they grow. I do like unlikable characters or morally gray characters in like my fantasy and thrillers and horror particular. So yeah. Okay. There we go. Okay. Glad. Yes, I actually just rewatched the entire thing. I think it was last year now, but every year since 2020 seems to blend together in my brain. So I'm like, I don't think it was this year. I think it was last year, but it could have been this year. Who knows? But I still love it. And then there was that announcement that they were going to reboot it. I don't think they're doing that anymore. I have no idea. Hi, Aria. And my little, I can't really show you Aria, but she's my tan sheep, and she was named after Game of Thrones. But yeah, I recently rewatched the entirety of True Blood, and I still love it. It's a little corny at times, and you know, some of my feelings on it have shifted. That's what it was. I rewatched True Blood last year because then I read all of the books. I finished them this year. That's what my brain is working again. So I read the books, and by like the last 3 or 4, I wanted to just burn the series. I think, Charlene Harris I felt like she was done with it and was just getting the cash grab at that point. And it just made it so I hated how it ended. And that made me like reading the books actually made me appreciate the ending of the show. I think they made a good call in the end. And I didn't like the original ending of the show, but oh my God, it was so much better than the ending of the book series. Oh, I hated the book series by the end of it. All right, that's my True Blood rant. Okay, moving on. Yes. Oh, you're fine. You're fine. I was gonna say I get that. I think like they're kind of like Shibas are masculine presenting dogs. So most people think my dogs are male. They don't know. It's fine. But yeah, they are both girls. Okay. Yeah, they I can't remember. I only remember because I did follow Charlene Harris on like Facebook, I think. And she had made a post, and this was a while ago. This was maybe like 2 years ago at this point, but she had said that they were going for a reboot on HBO, but she was not asked, she was not involved or anything like that, and she basically kind of said that she wasn't in agreement with it. So, but that was forever ago at this point. I don't know how it would go. I think at this point too, I would also like a reboot, but they would just, I think, to make things a little bit more kosher. There were definitely some things in my rewatch that I was kind of like, that wasn't great. Especially in the book series. The book series, because they're from the early 2000s. Surprisingly, there was a lot of like things in it that I was kind of like, oh, like this is pretty progressive in some ways, but there were definitely those moments where I was like, ugh, that did not age well. And I also miss Lafayette. That's the only bad thing is, and I know the actor sadly died, but God, that you can't replace him. I feel like he was such a good Lafayette. Anyway, oh yeah, honestly, I think you're fine not reading them. I owned them all. Don't judge me. I've been there with other shows where I haven't watched the last season of something, so I'm not judging you at all. But yeah, I was really angry at the ending of the show initially, but then after reading the books, which I just wanted to like just get the full picture because obviously books like are going to have other things. The books and the show are very different after like the second season. The books go in one direction. You're also only in Suki's POV in the books, which is very limiting. You don't get nearly as much, which is why I think the show went in such a different direction because you had a bunch of characters you were following. And I do like that. I wish the books were more POVs where you got to actually learn about other people. Because sometimes Suki was really annoying. Sometimes I loved her. Sometimes she was too much. But yeah, I don't think you need to read them. I don't necessarily think there's anything worthwhile in the end. There is more characters. There are way more love interests. If you thought the 3 we got in the show, 4, we did get 4, didn't we? Main ones. There's so many more. There's so many more lore. I do think that's the best part. There's a lot more lore and like in-depth discussion of some of the creatures that we see. But that's about it. Where was I? Okay. Yes, I have to actually look it up. He died in 20 something. Let me see. He died in 2017. Due to substance use, unfortunately. I guess he was trying to withdraw on his own and had complications from that, and then unfortunately passed away. So yeah, it wasn't an easy death, unfortunately, and he was very young. So very, very sad. I thought he did excellent in True Blood. So okay, so who did I cheer on Suki being with? In both the show and the book, it was Eric. I think his growth over the series and in the book, no spoilers, but that is part of the reason why I hated the book series is because like we had all this character growth for Eric, and then I felt like Charlene was like, psh, never mind, screw it. And that made me so mad. But yeah, I think he just like both the show and the book had him have such growth for being like 1,000-some-year-old vampire and like kind of having his humanity returned in some way. Like I thought they did that well, and I really wanted that to be like end game. So yeah. Otherwise, I think Alcide would be number 2. But you know, or in the book, there's another love interest that I liked in the book, actually. He might be real number 2, but we've never seen him in the show. So if you decide to read the book, then we could talk like in a sidebar elsewhere. So, okay. I know we just gabbed a lot about True Blood and Sookie Stackhouse. So, should we get back into a sprint? Do we think that might be goal? Because if we're going to end at 10, maybe a little after, I think we could get at least 2 more 30-minute ones in. Listen, they're easy and they're like mindless. Like they're such I listen to all of them on audiobook. I do own physical books, but I listen to them on audio because it was just so easy to consume. I was like banging those bad boys out at some point this year. Mostly over the summer. So they're very easy to get into and they're all about the same. Like they're between like 9 and 13 hours on audio. The books aren't super big. So like there's like 13 of them though. That's the only downfall. There's a lot. But not you're not missing a ton, but there are some cool things in it. You're fine. I love talking about books and writing. So I, fed into it because I can go on about ranting about my True Blood opinions all day long. Alex, not a problem at all. I'm so happy you were able to join us, and I am so happy you met your goal. Congratulations again. It's definitely, I don't know, like it's 9:00 here. So this is normally my bedtime. So I totally get it if you guys are peacing out, but I will be here at least for another hour for anybody else who's staying. So hope to see you again soon. Okay, let's do at least 2 more. So, all right. We'll get back into the game. We'll do another 30 minutes, guys. And I'm going to just reuse the same timer so everyone knows now that it is a school bell at the end. Okay? All right. So let's get going. And 30 minutes on the clock. Happy writing, friends. Okay, guys, welcome back. Oh my goodness, I did not realize we were done, and I have like 2 words that I have to add on to the sentence or I'm going to forget them. Okay. I was trying to get into the mining village because it's been now it's been 3 months since I took a tour of the mining village, and I don't know where I put my pamphlets and information on it. So I'll have to try to find that like off stream, maybe tomorrow even. But I was trying to remember like how everything was organized, and I may have to do a little bit more research because I can't remember off the top of my head if I know like in mining towns, it was really unfair. There was a lot of immigrants who were coming from like European countries. And the one thing I remember is that there was oftentimes multiple families living in like 3-room duplexes, like not even like 3 bedrooms, 3 rooms. Like you had a kitchen, a living room, and like maybe a bedroom, and multiple families lived in them. It was not a good time, and I know that you had to pay for, like, everything you did. So the mining company would, like, set up and, like, have their, like, big mansions, and then the miners would have to, like, buy all of their own supplies, buy, like, pay for the town, like, store, any supplies they needed for, like, food and, like, living, and then, like, they also had to pay, like, their taxes and shit. So basically, like, any money they were actually getting, like, they would be putting back into the mining community. So it was very, very toxic. And I'm trying to like get into that, but I couldn't remember the specifics on like taxes and like what they like all the money they have to owe because I was trying to like have my vampire tell a story of like how he got into a fight with his dad over something the company did. But yeah, I'm just not gonna harp on it tonight. I think I'm just gonna like end that sentence and then move on to the next thought, or else I'll be here forever. Especially because I don't know about you guys, but like I am a 5 a.m. waker upper. Like almost always I'm up at 5 a.m. Even if I don't get up at 5 a.m., I do have to take my dogs outside because they're on that schedule too. So by the time it hits 9 o'clock, it's usually my bedtime. So I'm slowing down, I think, mentally. But anyway, how did everyone else do? We did have CJ join us, so welcome. I know I said it already, but we will be doing at least one more sprint and then probably wrapping it up at that point. So we'll have another 30 minutes. Nikki, you did some fish tycoon. I have no idea what that is, but that sounds really fun and cute. The only tycoons I know are like was it roller coaster tycoon or something like that back in the day? Fish tycoon. Oh, that looks really cute. I had to Google it. Oh, it's just a little aquarium. Oh, that's adorable. That looks very relaxing. I don't know if it is, but I'm glad you got to play some of that. But yeah, I think we're coming up to the East Coast and it's getting later, we're probably losing some people. But I do think if I keep the flow I'm in, I think at least in this next 30-minute sprint, I will be done with chapter 15 because I don't know if anybody's new here, like CJ, you probably missed my rambles earlier, but I've been adding chapters in this book as I go in this editing draft. And I had already I had already added one chapter in, and now 14, which was originally 13, was too long, and I've split it. So now 13 has become chapters 14 and 15. And I think this 30-minute sprint will make me finish chapter 15, and I will officially move on to chapter 16. That's where I think we're going with this. So, all right. So, anyway, I don't see any more people popping in to say how they've been doing. So, I'll give another minute or two just to check, but I think it'll be safe to say that we should probably roll right into it. Anyone in the chat, like, have you guys been doing NaNoWriMo or other like things? Because I know Nano in particular has come under some fire this year, and I think last year. There's other things that have been popping up, like people who are doing different challenges or like different things in general, like creating new communities. So, how is that going if you guys are participating? I did not participate in anything. I expected to. I expected to do more writing in my vampire novel this month, but it didn't happen. So, okay. All right. So then let's do another one. I'm going to use the same timer again. I think that was a pretty concise one. So, yeah, let's just jam. Okay. So I'm going to put 30 minutes on the clock. Oop, there we go. CJ's working on Heart Breathing's Rough Draft Challenge. Okay. I think I have looked into heart breathings before. I'm going to Google it. That sounds very familiar to me. I just don't know their challenge. Oh, yes. I think I might have submitted. Oh, never mind. That's Sarah Cannon. Okay. That's why it sounds familiar to me. Okay. All right. I see what it is. Gotcha. The draft challenge. Okay. I have no idea what that is in particular. I don't know much about Sarah Cannon other than her author to presence, but it sounds really fun. And I hope that you're having a good time on that. So, okay. Well, yeah, okay. I'm gonna stop rambling. Oh wait, there's one more. I am in a way doing Nano, but on another website, so I won't be using their website anymore. Yeah, that's kind of like for me, the only reason I ended up using the Nano website to begin with was just for the tracker, which I think at this point in time, like there's other ways you can track your writing. But the last couple years, I haven't even been doing like I haven't been starting with a new draft. I was mostly just continuing to edit or working on other stuff. So the website has been kind of useless to me anyway. But I think that's a great thing to be able to find other websites and keep working. Yeah, I think was it oh my god, Kate Kavanaugh. I don't know if that's who you're following with that, but I think that's what she was doing like a 3-month goal versus a 1-month goal. You set your own goal, tracking through November. Since I still want to meet my goal, I am continuing the challenge. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I think that's great, especially when you're doing stuff that you can kind of create your own like goal for. I mean, you might as well just continue it over. But I'm so glad that you're having fun with that and it's working for you. So, okay. Well, let's get going then. I know a couple people here are probably waiting to get into the final sprint. So, I do think because my own stamina is dwindling, I think this is for the best that we call it here with the final sprint, but this will be 30 minutes and then we will do a check-in and wrap up. So, yeah, I hope everyone gets to do lots of productivity in the next half hour. I don't know, I was going to say a couple minutes. All right. Happy writing, guys. All right. We are done. So, how did everyone do for our final sprint? So, I did not know what? My brain is not working. I did not finish the chapter. That's okay. I thought maybe I would, but I didn't realize how much I actually had to change, which is part of the editing process, like sometimes you might think like, "Oh, this is going to be easy," but then you really get into the chapter and you're like, "Oh, no, I have to like restructure this entire thing." Which is pretty much what I did the entire time. I had a different backstory for my vampire originally, and I kind of made him more of like a traditional, like what you see. We were talking about True Blood earlier, and like Eric in True Blood was like thousands of years old. And I was originally going to like go for that angle, but then with the setup, with the location of like Pennsylvania, Appalachia, and the mining towns that are in the area, I was like, okay, let's go in this direction. So I did have to change his entire backstory in this section too of how he got turned and when he got turned. But it was fun. It was fun talking about like a fake mind collapse and how a vampire could use that to their advantage to feed. So that's what I was doing. He's now talking about his maker, and I still have like 6 more pages to like, no, maybe not 6. I have 4 more pages to like edit and change and stuff like that. But some of that is going to be deleted now, I think, because I moved things and was rewriting so much. So I feel good. I don't know. I might stop in the middle myself tonight and then just pick it up tomorrow. But I'm definitely losing steam. So I'm so sorry, guys. So let's see. Manage to transcribe some handwritten notes into your larger research document. Realize they helped with developmenting. Wow, I can't talk. Geez. Developing a section of one of my chapters. That's excellent. I'm so happy you got to kind of have like a double like dip there. Like you were trying to do something that was going to be productive, but also it helped you. I love when that happens. JC, I'm so sorry. This was great. I really do miss live streaming. I don't think I'll be able to ever be consistent like I had been during like the COVID period of AuthorTube, but I might try to come back, like do like a once a month thing over, at the very least once a month, maybe over the winter, because I definitely have a lot more time to stream. I'll definitely, for sure, I will be streaming at the end of December. I don't think I'm going to be, it might be a pop-up, I should say. I don't want to say for sure, but if I do any or, probably mid-December, it'll be a pop-up. So if you're not subscribed, if you're not subscribed, please do so, and then you can get notified of when I go live or when I have live streams. I'm obviously not functioning anymore. But yeah, I will absolutely be on lives at the end of the month though. I am taking some time off for the holidays, and I will at least plan on 1 live stream on my channel, and I'll be on 2 streams with Inimitable Books. I will be doing the 22nd of December on Inimitable Books channel. In case you guys, I'll actually pop it in there in case you're interested. Inimitable Books does tons of writing sprints throughout the month, but they tend to be pretty earlier. But here's the one that I'll be on, and the 22nd. And then the second one I'll be on is actually going to be New Year's Eve here in the States. Well, I think everywhere. Well, most people, I think it's New Year's Eve on the 31st of December. But I'll be doing a morning sprint as well. So I definitely have a couple to look forward to. I don't think they post, Inimitable Books did not post the New Year's one, but that one is definitely up there. So be sure to hang out with me in the future. I'm so happy, guys, that you guys joined me and welcomed me back to the streaming era. I had so much fun, and honestly, it was so productive for me just getting back into my story and being able to like really feel these characters again was just what I needed to like get that spark and get me going, because I would love to query this book next year, but that's not going to happen if I don't, do the edits and get it going. So thanks, guys. And thank you. Yeah, I'm really stumbling, and I swear I'm not doing it on purpose, but oh man, like you could tell when I get tired because I can't speak anymore. I just don't make any sense. Yes. Yeah, it is definitely live. I mean, you get way more interaction with a live stream. So I will absolutely be streaming more over the winter. Come spring and whatnot, that might be where it starts changing because I am an outdoors person. I love being outside. So as soon as the weather gets better, I'm back outside. So that's in part why I'm not streaming as much these days. But thank you guys. I'm so happy again that you all showed up. Margaret, I'm so sorry we're heading out, but it was so nice to see you very briefly. But yeah, I know you're an hour, I think an hour or 2 hours behind me, so it's not as late for you, but it is not early for me anymore. So, but yeah, so guys, I will be back next month, and yeah, once again, just thanks so much. So, okay, that's all for me. So I'll talk to you guys then. Bye.